Hey guys, Pro1701 here, and today we are going to be reviewing Sleep No More from Series 9 of Modern Doctor Who with Peter Capaldi and Jenna Coleman. This is, I think, the first time I'd seen this story since its original broadcast, at least its original broadcast here in the States. It's not one I'd cared for. I never went back to revisit it. I'm trying to remember if this series came out in 2015 or 16. I don't remember. I think it was 2015. And I can't remember what I was doing at the time. I can't remember when it came out. This might be right when me and a girl I was dating broke up. I don't remember. I think I might have been partly distracted while watching it. I remember being confused, especially by the ending. And much like how the Doctor's going, this doesn't make any sense. None of this makes any sense. I remember watching the ending going, wait, I'm confused. So was all this actual stuff? Was this something fake he cobbled together? If so, how did Clara and the Doctor get in it? I was very confused. I didn't really care for it. I thought it had too many things it was trying to do. I didn't get it. And again, I don't know if it was because where my headspace was at the time. Maybe I was distracted while watching it. But I went back and I just rewatched it. I was actually having a talk with one of my subscribers, and they were talking about rewatching it. And they just rewatched it as well, actually. I got a text from them right before I rewatched it talking about how they'd rewatched it. And they had only seen it a couple times before, and they really liked it. Or they didn't like it the first couple times, and they did this third rewatch and seemed to actually enjoy it. And I figured, well, I've been wanting to rewatch it. It is on my list of top 5 Doctor Who stories I want to rewatch. So I rewatched it, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. I don't know if it's necessarily top-tier Doctor Who or anything, but I actually found myself enjoying it much more than I do most of the stories in Series 9. Series 9's always been a very weak season, or series for me. But I liked it. I like Doctor Who doing the found footage thing, especially as a one-off. It's not something I'd want to see a lot, but I think it does the found footage thing really well here. I like it, because Doctor Who is that kind of show. Just because of the concept of the show, it can do so many different genres. So I like that it takes a stab at it. I like the station, the set design. I like how it uses dark a lot. It does create a bit of atmosphere with the dark lighting that's used in it. I like how it turns the found footage trope on its head and makes that an integral part of the story and the plot. That's really neat. So it's not just, hey, we're doing a found footage episode. It ties that into the story. I like when it flips the trope on its head by finding out there are actually no cameras. When you find out they don't have cameras on their helmets. There's no cameras anywhere in the station, no CCTV or anything. That is actually the dust seeing. That's how it sees. Or if someone who's been in the machine, it can see from their eyes. That's a really clever way to flip the trope, and I enjoyed that. I like the Runcible guy narrating at the beginning, because it tricks you into thinking, well, obviously he's the one narrating, obviously he's alive, so you know he survives. The way it tricks and manipulates you there is really good, and how it cuts back and forth between him talking and everything going on in the action, which I really like, and it does a good job of setting up the story. So I like that. I also really like the creatures here, the Sandmen. Because I love when Doctor Who takes something so normal and mundane that we never think twice about it and makes it terrifying. Much how like the Weeping Angels make statues scary, or the Vashnadarada make shadows scary, and makes, our fear of the dark understandable, why people have a fear of the dark. It's a good explanation for that. Piranhas in the sun, or in the sunbeams, or whatever they say. Trying to think of some other examples. Night Terrors does that with dolls, makes them creepy. I like when Doctor Who takes something normal and makes it creepy. The Autons making a mannequin, terrifying. Or Fury from the Deep, seaweed. Seaweed becomes terrifying in Fury from the Deep. So I love Doctor Who's ability to do that. And here they do it with, the sleep in your eyes. The little dust and dirt that accumulates in your eye when you sleep. You wake up in the morning and you just wipe it out. Because I would have never thought of that. That's such an ingenious idea, to weave that in your story where people you only have to sleep 5 minutes every month, but because of a side effect of that, and this stuff becomes sentient and carnivorous, and it just devours the host and then basically takes over their body and mimics their form. That is ingenious. And again, you made the sleep in your eyes terrifying. That's wonderful. Now, the episode is not perfect, and I do think those are two ideas I probably would have rather seen done separately, because I love the idea of the Sandmen, and I would have loved to have seen that just done in a more traditional Base Under Siege episode, I think. But I like the found footage idea. Would love to have maybe seen another episode with that. It's two good ideas that I kind of wish hadn't been used together, because I think they would have been very effective on their own. That and the fact we still don't know if we saw the honest story. We don't know how this Ransomum, or whatever the guy's name is, a weird name. He's obviously cobbled this footage together. We don't know how much of it's accurate and how much of it's what he's edited together, because a lot of stuff doesn't make any sense. And I like how the little twist at the end when we find out the sand has completely possessed him, and even though he looks humanoid still, because we didn't know it could do that. That's an interesting twist. And the fact that it mentions at the beginning, it electronically stimulates the brain, but then it's found other ways to spread and infect, just to find out, nope, still does it electronically. And this whole thing has been set up, so all the people watching the video will be affected by it. So the virus will spread that way, or the contagion will spread that way, so to speak. Pretty neat. I enjoyed that. The effect of him rubbing it and just his face falling away like sand. Pretty clever. I like how the doctor found out he had pre-recorded most of his message ahead of time. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm not quite sure how much of it was real and how much of it wasn't. But I do understand that Capaldi and Clara were really there, and they escaped with the doctor knowing something wasn't right. I always kind of want to see like a sequel story to this in a novel or a comic that explains how that turns out. Do they go back to the Titan and break all the machines, or does the message get sent out and everybody in the solar system watches it? I'd really like to know how that resolves. I'd love to have some closure on that and know how everything worked out. But again, I like this kind of episode because it's a good standalone episode. Much like Classic Who, it's almost like an episodic story instead of part of an overall arc, and I love when Doctor Who does this. Some of these standalone episodes they do that are so unique, even Love and Monsters, for all its faults, it does go its own way and attempt to do its own thing, which I'll at least give it points for. But more popular episodes that I would stack Sleep No More with for being non-traditional Doctor Who episodes, let's say, like Blink, for example, Midnight, for example, both very good examples of non-traditional Doctor Who episodes, which work really well with a small cast, in some cases like Blink, maybe not even having the Doctor in it much, and much like Midnight, very confined. These kind of solo episodes, non-traditional solo episodes, I think tend to be very effective, and I definitely give them props for doing their own thing and trying something different. And yeah, I just found I liked the episode. Maybe it's because the first time I saw it, I was watching it with as it came out with Series 9. And again, I wasn't very fond of Series 9. I still hadn't quite warmed up to Capaldi yet. I was still very iffy on him. I didn't like Clara by that point, even though, to be fair, she's fine in this episode. But a lot of the other episodes, she'd really annoyed me. I wasn't happy with how the series was going. And again, I can't remember exactly where I was at that time with stuff going on in my life. But looking at it now, with where I am now, and just watching it as a standalone episode without the rest of the series surrounding it, just going by and picking it and watching it and judging it just on it, because it is very much a standalone episode, I liked it. I enjoyed it. Good tone, good atmosphere. I think the found footage thing works. I love the creature. Capaldi puts in another fantastic performance, because, man, I did not appreciate Capaldi enough, I think, until Series 10 when I started really warming to him. But, man, he's such a good Doctor. He's such a good actor. I don't necessarily like all the characteristics of his Doctor, because I do prefer the more silly Tom Baker-ish, Patrick Troughton-style Doctors. But I do like Capaldi. He's such a good actor. And man, he always gives 200% when he's playing the Doctor. So that's my thoughts on Sleep No More. It's a story that I didn't like that I now do like. Helps me like Series 9 a lot more. And a great standalone, non-traditional episode like Blink, Love and Monsters, and Midnight, even though Love and Monsters is terrible. So I would like to know what you think of Sleep No More. And I would recommend, if you haven't seen it in a long time, go back and watch it on its own. Don't watch it with Series 9. Just out of the blue, go back and watch Sleep No More. Give it another shot, especially if I haven't seen it in a long time. So let me know what you think of this review. Let me know what you think of the episode down in the comments below. I always enjoy interacting with you guys and finding out what you think. Other things to do, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications so you never miss out on a new video. I also have a Patreon. If you would like to contribute to that, there is a link to that down in the description below. I would love to have new patrons. I always enjoy getting new patrons. Everyone who joins gets a free video request at any tier level. The entry level is only $2 a month if you want to support what I do. Most importantly, though, thank you for watching.